Hi everybody, Jason with Learn It's Life. How you guys doing? Good, I hope. Hope you're taking care of yourself. In one of my other videos, I said I don't care for folding knives. And there's many reasons I don't care for folding knives, but I'd like to elaborate a little bit more on that. And that is, I don't care for modern folding knives. I've got a few slip joint folding knives, a Congress and a Trapper that I carry quite often. And I even had a Buck 110 Hunter for years that I carried. I bought it when I was about 16 years old. And my ex-wife, it's one of the things my ex-wife walked off with when I told her, hey, you got to go. And, I carried that all the time. Well, before I did Knife Week, I did buy another Buck 110 folder. And I'll explain why I bought another one here in a minute. But I want to explain why I don't like folding knives. Or should say why I don't care for modern folding knives. One, they've got thinner. Two, the material I don't care for, the plastic and these nylon handles on folders. I think they're weak, and most folders now are using a very weak locking mechanism, the liner lock. I don't care for liner locks. I think they're dangerous. Another thing I don't care about modern folders, and this is not my problem, it's a societal problem. A lot of people see the modern folder and their tactical look, most of them have now, and the little back flipper or the little stud flipper or the spring assist, and it's not a switchblade. You got to open it up manually about quarter of the way, halfway, and the spring kicks in and kicks it the rest of the way out. They see it inherently more dangerous than the slip joint and some of the other knives they've seen that are folding knives growing up. And it's kind of like the argument of the 22 versus the AR-15. Does that 20 round mag and flash hider make it any more different than Grandpa's 1022? No. But they're used to seeing Grandpa's 1022, and they're used to seeing something like the Buck 110 Hunter. Now I'm going to do a quick review on the Buck 110 Hunter. If you don't know what this knife is, you probably should not be owning knives of any sort. Buck 110 Hunter is the granddaddy of all folding knives today that have a locking mechanism on it, whether it be a back lock, a liner lock, whatever, as it was the first knife to have any kind of locking mechanism on it. Prior to 1964, when Al Buck designed this knife, all knives were slip joint. That means it didn't have a locking mechanism, but it had a little catch that would require a little more pressure to push past. Now, about this knife, it is a heavy knife. You're going to do anything that you would do with a fixed blade with this knife, except for baton wood. I would not baton wood with any folding knife. It's got a blade that is 3.75 inches long, and it is a heavy knife weighing in at almost 8 ounces. The brass bolsters, as you can see, are part of the whole frame system on this. You've got a very strong back lock on it. There is no up and down or side to side wiggle in this blade whatsoever. And the only stronger locking mechanism you're going to find than on the Buck, and I do say only on the Buck, because other companies use these back locks and I do not find them as strong. The only locking mechanism that is a back lock that would be stronger than the Buck back lock is the cold steel triad back lock mechanism. Now, the reason I didn't review this knife earlier is because I was waiting on a sheath. I just wanted to show you what I think is the perfect folding knife and what I found to be the perfect sheath. Now, I didn't have expectations of the sheath that I found, but I had this made, so I did run afoul some laws. Here in Indiana, I can carry anything. We'll take that back. I can carry anything except a ballistic knife. Those are illegal here. I can carry any size fixed blade I want. I can carry a switchblade. I can carry any size folding knife, whatever. I can walk down the street with a sword on my back and be legal. But I do cross over into another state that has some very strange knife laws. Like one, the knife can't be seen at all, even if it's in a sheath. So the buck sheath, when you sit down, is always going to stick out of the bottom of your shirt. You've run afoul of the law. Knife, the knife with the pocket clips, even though that much of it only sticks out of your pocket, you run afoul of the law. They've taken this law so far, even if your pocket covered the whole knife, just a clip on outside of your pocket considers it to be an exposed knife. And hence, you've run afoul of the law. So I had this made. Okay, rides horizontally across the small of your back. So it's always covered by your shirt. And what I found that I didn't expect is this is a very comfortable knife sheath. Instead of just having a little strap and not all that weight just in that little area of this 8-ounce knife pulling down on you, it is spread out over the width of the sheath because of the two belt loops. Okay, so it spreads out the weight. And I mean, even just holding it like this, one-handed or two-handed right here, you can tell the weight difference, or even the weight difference from just holding it here like that in the middle. It still weighs the same, but you can feel where it's spread out over the entire sheath. I was surprised at how comfortable this was. So, this style sheath, even though I had it made, you can find the pattern for it on the internet and make one yourself, or have a local leather maker make it. To me, this is the perfect folding knife and sheath combination. And if somebody came up to me and said, hey, I want a folding knife, what do you recommend? Unless you tell me, hey, I want a tactical knife, or I want something that's one-handed opening or assisted, the Buck 110 is what I would direct you to. Classic knife, been around forever. You don't have a knife design that's been out over 50 years if it's junk, okay? Plain and simple. Classic knife, American made, affordable, durable. This is going to be a knife you can pass down to your kids, your grandkids. It's going to last you forever. It's got Buck's lifetime warranty on it. You can't go wrong. I will talk to you guys later. Take care of yourself and take care of one another.